appreciate it, man. I appreciate
Smashing Machine. It is out October 3rd, right? Is that
it.
when
Yeah,
it comes
October
out?
3rd. Yeah.
It's very good.
I appreciate it, Joe. Thank you.
My boss Ruben killed it in too.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Bye, buddy.
I appreciate it.
Hey, Rabbi.
Good morning, Mr. Aquarius. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing good. It's waiting for that to get here. I done mopped and everything. Waiting on her to come. I get back on that stove. I can get them up.
Alrighty.
How are you?
I'm well, thank God.
So, son.
Just living life.
Getting better. Getting better.
You sound better.
Oh, you got a little idea?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stuff to tell you about my nose. I'm ready.
Yeah. That doesn't make any
Slowly
sense.
coming.
I like it though.
All right.
It's like it's got the sauna walls and shit. It's
I'm
everything
here.
close to what the old one was.
Wonderful.
Brick was all wood.
I'm ready to drink. I'm ready to drink water with you when you're ready.
It wasn't fake brick; it was real brick. But what they do is they take like a mesh, and then they take real bricks and they slice them thin, and then they put up the cement and they glue the real bricks in place. But it's not really a brick wall.
Yeah.
Real brick wall.
You gotta take it. They don't
The
take
only brick wall we showed.
Okay.
Sounds like
This is bullshit. I mean, it's a push to have like a place. Was it? Aha! Look at that. That's. It makes me want to. Look at that picture of Ellen. That's crazy. That's cool. Wow. Wow. When I started doing comedy, I used to go to the comic strip, and they had a.
All right, ready?
yes, ma'am.
To get
Just
on
one moment.
stage at the comic strip, you got to come the first
Right.
Friday every month.
1,
And
2,
try to
3.
pick a number. And if you got a number, there's like a lot of things that like all these open micers lined up down the street. And then
Here we go.
This is pre-dreadlocks.
Oh, yeah.
Dreadlocks? No. I
There you
like
go.
Like twist and shit. Please don't find none of those folks. I know you. Like 30 years. Yeah, we were each other 30 years. That's crazy. Wow, we were little babies. Yeah. Little babies doing the Boston. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy when I not how, but we had no fucking idea how all this shit would turn out. No idea. Yeah. With no idea even how it all worked. Right. You just taking chances on stage, trying to figure out what's funny, and then trying to get work. Trying to get work on the road. I just knew once I had the inclination to do it, the moment I had the inclination to do it, I said, oh, I'm doing this for the rest of my life. Like that. Once that moment hit, so then all bets on everything else was off. And I just started just doing it. And just doing it locally in Long Island. And then I remember seeing A&E Improv and see Chappelle on there. And I noticed that all the comics on Long Island that used to like be ahead of me and host the shows that I was doing the mics on and all weekend, gotta get to Manhattan. Like all the comics that were on TV were in Manhattan.
I felt the exact same way. Living in Boston, all these guys I knew that were so funny, but none of them were on TV.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I knew that the people that were on TV, then they could go anywhere. Once you're on TV, then you can go to Kansas.
Yeah.
You go to Miami. You can go anywhere. But if you weren't on TV, man, nobody was gonna come pay to see you. It was a risk.
Yeah.
You know, you're out with your wife. You got a date night. Like, take a chance on this motherfucker. I don't know. Look at his face. His stupid fucking dreadlocks.
Whoa. TV fans.
It's weird though, right? Like nobody.
I feel like we knew though, like inside, like we had some type of blueprint because we seen like success, but to go from like so, and I came here, moved to America from my city from Jamaica. So when I started watching TV, I didn't know anybody on TV.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm saying?
What
I didn't
was
know
that like?
anybody on TV.
So, do you remember the first shows you saw?
First shows, well, we had American shows on TV in Jamaica. We had one channel back then. We had one. And then, so when I came here, I watched SNL because Eddie Murphy was on that shit. So that was a requirement. I was always watching that.
Now I finally can figure out how old my motherfucker won't tell anybody how old you are. It's only on for 2 seasons. I gotcha.
That's hilarious. Yeah, but I was 5 years old.
Was Eddie Murphy on for 2 seasons or 1 season? I think he was on for 2 seasons. I'm guessing. Now.
Right.
He might be the first guy in a long time to become a movie from that.
Yeah.
Because it kind of went away. You know, the Mike Myers, Adam Sandler, and like everybody became from David Spade. They became movie stars. But then they kind of get into themselves and all that woke bullshit.
Yeah.
Like they kind of like they killed comedy movies.
Or they just pick somebody funny. Like there's people they overlook all the time that we know are funny.
Yeah.
That could be on that show. So it's good that they picked Cam. I'm gonna say some positive derogatory shit about Cam. That's number one. Just fuck Cam, number one. Fuck Cam. I remember the first time I saw Cam. And I saw Cam. We were at what's that room on 6th?
The Vulcan?
The Vulcan.
Yeah.
So I think I just did your room, then I went to the Vulcan, and then they don't, and what's the name? Like you're next, and Cam was beside, so then I knew he was next. It was like the unknown show. So then I bring him up, and I said, I'm gonna give you this tag. After he got upstairs, I'm gonna give you this tag, but better than me, and you're gonna get picked up in advance. I could just tell it, and I was angry, and I loved him at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just got it, and the other, wow, this guy,
They got it. Yeah. You gotta celebrate it. Yeah. You gotta celebrate it because we got into this as fans.
Mm-hmm.
You got into as fans. And if someone's funnier than you gotta go. It'll inspire you to work.
Yeah.
And you can be funnier than you are, but you can only be.
It's my manager.
Your manager's managing it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was like, I knew it.
We want your managers to duck your balls. all's great.
But that's how.
That's
The motherfucker's funny, man. He makes it easy.
He works hard.
Yeah, and he works hard.
He works hard. He's always working. He's always does that. 1 minute of Kill Tony every week.
Yeah,
Hard.
and that's hard to do.
It's very hard to do.
Like you have to sit down and work on shit.
You have to. I mean, the guys who sell at it, like Ari Matty, Hans Kim, those guys, like, they fucking work hard.
Yeah.
You know, and a bunch of people did it for years and years and years. Like William Montgomery is probably, I think he's the longest running guy ever.
Right.
But he's such a maniac, he can get a minute out of anything.
Right.
You know, he can get a minute out of coffee. Like going and get some coffee. It's like a big part of what his comedy is just his personality.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Uh-huh.
You know, because he's kind of a character. He's such a freak.
Yeah.
That when he's on stage, kind of anything is funny.
Yeah, like you know, what makes me mad. Like when you say that, I finally just see what Will is, because it's obvious to see what Cat Williams is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like a comedy cheat. They're gonna talk. It's gonna be funny. Some writing to it, and you don't stand a chance.
Joey Diaz is the ultimate.
Yeah, there you go.
Joey is the ultimate version of that. Motherfucker is funny. The moment he grabs his
You're like, come on, God gave him that.
Just looking
Come on,
at
God, this ain't
everything
fair.
about him. Everything about him. He's just walking comedy.
Yeah,
And he's fearless.
yeah, and he's fearless.
And so he looks like that and he talks like that. And gets on stage, you're like, oh, it's over.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's like you're
It's
already
a
like,
force.
yeah, you give your mind up to him, like, to think for me. Let me take me on a journey. Take me on a journey. Think for me. Theo's got that a little bit too.
Yeah, and we saw Theo develop that.
Yeah.
Like through the years, and then he just started like
He just hit.
drifting off, and just it's where you're just constantly just saying shit, and it kind of makes sense even if it doesn't,
Right.
and it resonates. Like
Brody.
Brody,
Another good example.
Yeah.
Brody was just funny. He went 818 till I die. He'll die and laughing. No one even knows why they're laughing.
Right.
They're laughing at that. He's talking about the area code for the lake. It's this like celebration of mediocrity.
hilarious.
You know?
Was it Racina?
Yeah. He was the best. He was so infectious.
Yeah.
Like his comedy was infectious. It would infect you. And you'd be in the parking lot, like repeating his lines. It was so fun.
Yeah. Treat him like an open micer. And he would just play along. I said, keep going up, kid, man. Just you can get better. You're gonna get better.
I mean, Mike are just starting to stage. We're both kind of in the same thing, and that's like a weird stage because you kind of no one knows what's gonna happen. No one, like, there's a lot of dudes that we used to do comedy with back then that I thought were really good, and they just vanished.
Yeah.
They vanished. They went out, got regular jobs, and they gave up.
Because I never want that to happen to me.
It's happened. It's never happened.
Yeah.
The guys that I know that do that, they always get weirdly bitter. Weirdly bitter, like sinister.
Yeah.
They want you to fail. They do not want you to make it.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen to me. I had an incident with, I don't even know if I should say his name because I feel bad.
Yeah.
So he was in all these movies, like big movies. You know, he was never like a major star, but he's in these movies, TV shows. He was that generation, like maybe a 1.5 generations before us. And he's a regular at the store. And the first time Tommy sent me to do La Jolla, I used to feature. But then Tommy booked me into headline La Jolla and told, and I don't know if this guy knew he was supposed to feature, but when he got to the club, like when first of all, I brought a date. So you're supposed to get you're staying in the condo and you're supposed to get the headliner bedroom. Shit was in there. You know, so I had to take
You said his name.
Shit, I didn't say his last name.
I know
Bleep
who
it
it
out.
is.
Please bleep it out.
Bling.
So
Let's call him Bling.
Bling. Let's call him Bling. So Bling shit was in the headline bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we went to the store that night, and he found out, like, or the comic that they put before, and then he walked out. So then the guy that ran the store, I think it was Ryan here, he was like, just go up the line. And I was like, fine, I'll feature. I don't care. And you pay me the headline. And then Barry went and came back in and went up all week, and that's how it was. But it was like that bitterness that, and I feel, I feel bad, but that's why I stay on stage. I'll be like, I am not going to let
a lot of people black they just lose their enthusiasm.
era where they don't write the material.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Do a lot of cocaine. So yeah,
Right.
I had a good time. It was fun.
Yeah.
You can do that too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like those guys that go and get rid of it, because that guy's probably been phoning it in for a decade and a half. He might not have the juice left to like read in the first place.
Yeah. That's what I feel like competitive spirit. I feel like I haven't got to where I want to. And I also like that space I was just talking about, like where you just stream of consciousness space.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm kind of want to get to that where you can just like go on stage and watch the tape afterwards. I said that, I did that, right? That works. That just clicked. I just want to get to that.
You know where that comes from?
Where?
Massive stage time.
Yeah.
Massive amount of stage time. The guys who have the best timing, what is the best? Like David John, perfect. That dude's got so much. Dave, as he was doing that New York, where you get in a cab and you go from one to another club. So he's doing like 5 sets a night. At one point in time, I forget who had the record of the most sets in a night, but dudes were up to like 11, 12 sets a night. I don't even know how you manage it.
I did 7 one time in the city, and I was like, I'm gonna get fired, gonna book me again. I was like, I don't want to do that. It's too stressful.
Well, I think the guys who can do it are guys like Louis, just sort of show up and just do a set.
Right.
And put him on anytime he shows up.
Which beats me late for my 5 sets.
That happens to a lot of. I've got that way before.
Yeah.
Where guys didn't show. There's always that kind of situation.
That's how I got in the cellar the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And used to bark for the Boston. You might have been in there. Yeah, we used to get people into the Boston.
Oh, he used to bark like in front of you were meeting people in off the street.
Yeah, and he was really good
I
at
thought
it. He was a comic too.
I thought you were saying bark on stage. I was so confused.
Nah.
It's a barker.
And don't expect me to complete most of my sentences. That's
That's asking too much.
just asking too much.
So what were we saying about him?
So he was at the cellar doing the same thing, and he already worked at the Boston around the corner. And then I was just going over to the cellar to hang, and he was like, "Somebody's missing. Do you want to go up?" And I was like, "Bet." And I went up, and then he told SD, I don't know if they were recording back then, and she just started getting the spot.
That's great.
Yeah.
That was the good thing about New York was that there was a ton of spots.
Right.
You could get in, and you started getting spots, and you started getting a name, and people knew that you were an up-and-coming comic. You get some work. And then you get work on the road, too. You could do Long Island, Oakland.
Yeah,
Kind of close.
everything's kind of close, but anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to do the city spots, the Carolinas, the New York, the Cellar, the Boston, sometimes the Strip once in a while, because then you could just hang out in one place afterwards and kick it with it. Right. So then sometimes I'd have like a college that paid, and I'd be like, fuck, I ain't gonna be in the city. This is a terrible weekend. And no matter how the gig went, you just
Right.
like, sometimes it just do the upstate, tri-state, whatever gig it was, and then just head back, just storm right back to the
You
city.
missed the hang.
And hang, the
You
hang.
missed the hang. That was everything.
The hang was everything.
I did the New Year's Eve at the Improv, and then I drove from the Improv on Melrose after the show to hang out at the Comedy Store afterwards. And he goes, "That's the way to do it. You get your check somewhere else, and you come back home." And it just like felt like that there. Like we were all hanging. It was fun. If I had a great gig somewhere on the weekend, it was fun because I would bring guys like you, or Joey, or Ari. You know, we were all together having a good time.
Right.
So it's like the idea was little.
Yeah.
Going on the road by yourself sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Because you can't afford to bring who you want with you yet. You're just still trying to establish it away from your comedy family.
Yes.
The camaraderie and the hang.
It's not right. You might be doing combat comedy. Step on all of your premises. It's your middle act on purpose. A lot of dudes did that. It was different. Like, oh, you're not my friend at all. Like,
too.
not just trying to come up in a dark way.
Right.
You know, there's before you that were like your middle act that saw you on Thursday night, and they do your bits on Friday.
Yeah.
You pay attention. You're like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Because they were in like some nowhere town, and they didn't have a real comedy community, and they just saw Boston and New York, and they just, I'm gonna fuck him up, you know. And it's just comedy when you have a group of people like it was in New York or like it was in Boston or in LA. It's always so much more fun. If you're starting out and you're in like Pittsburgh, like how big's the scene in Pittsburgh?
Right.
You know?
You know what I did love about New York? How brutally honest all the comics were to each other.
Yeah.
So even like Patrice, like he had just dropped a special, but then he just went on this thing of like, I forgot the type of material he was doing, but we confronted him about that shit. Like, hey man, that shit is hacky. And he was just doing it, fucking around.
Probably just trying to get some material.
Just trying to get some.
Just dropped a special.
Yeah, just trying.
Yeah.
We tell each other shit. I remember I had too many black and white gig out of town, and there's a bunch of black comics who come back in the van, and they were killing. You talk about black people like this. Because they were like, yeah, you do. Then they start. I never wanted to leave that joke.
You know, the real problem is if you do short sets and then you got to piece it together into a long set.
Yeah.
I brought this one dude on the road once, and he had so many jokes about being a Mexican. Dude used to doing 5 minutes set, we had to do 20. I'm like, bro, you can't keep saying it over again. One thing I love about being Mexican, and then there's another. One thing I love about being Mexican, like, bro, like you gotta add some spice to the soup. This is crazy. This is one flavor.
That's how weird comedy is. It's levels to, like, first you gotta get your first 5 minutes. Right. You get your first 5 minutes, you feel like I can kill. But then now you gotta get 10. And then you're gonna start watering down your solid 5. You know what I mean? Your exhilaration that you work so hard for, but then you get to 10. And then by the time you might go out of your state, 2 miles out of your state, and realize, oh shit, these jokes live. Yep. They do not work here. Yep. All these Jamaican jokes about being Jamaican in New York. And I went with some comics to do. It was in where they play basketball. Like Terry Hodges was on the show, a bunch of strong blacks. And my opener was a Jamaican, about a joke about being Jamaican. Killed in New York. And I did the first joke. And people had been killing before me, then I went on. I did the first joke. More quiet than this. In a stadium full of people.
Oh no!
And then I started panicking on the inside, which definitely showed on the outside. And then I was like, let me go for my middle joke. You know, which is my second strongest joke. That didn't work. I was like, I got to do 15 minutes. I'm on my clothes. The third joke.
Oh no!
I didn't have to struggle. It's the only one that bombed that night. And I bombed because, like I said, I moved here when I was 17. So I didn't have it right to like the Jamaican shit about me growing up in Jamaica just started working. But there was a radius to that shit. You know? That shit would work in Florida. Other places where there's a concentrations of like Jamaicans or West Indian people.
Right.
And these assholes like, yo, we go to the after party. You want to go? Like, no. But I stayed in the hotel room and I had a great night. I watched them for the first time and last one.
Dick, but
Yeah.
they teach you like, oh, I can't just
Like figure out like universal comedy.
Well, that's why the real G's travel all world. You know, the Jimmy Carrs, that guy goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, there's something to that. There's something to going everywhere. Because I've done comedy in other places. I took Tony Hinchcliffe once to Sweden, the comedy in Stockholm, and he's like, "Dude, I think I'm bomb." I go, "No, they're laughing," and they stop laughing. It's just different. They're different in Europe. They're laughing.
Right.
I listen to your set because I never got a flow going. I go, first of all, it's a big place, so you're probably not used to doing a place that's this big. And then on top of that, you're in Europe,
Right.
and their English is pretty good,
Yeah.
but it's not perfect. So it probably takes a couple seconds for them to figure out, oh, very funny, Tony Hinchcliffe.
So hilarious. I mean, what you told him is only true if you logo. Did you get a flow going?
I got a flow going. But there was also they were there to see me, and they didn't know I was going to be there, and they probably didn't even know what a comedy club was.
Right.
You know, these are all just people that came out to see me because I was famous.
Right.
You know, this is like, if you know, like, this was probably more than 10 years ago, at least. But if you know comedy now, though, I think because of YouTube, I think kind of like all you need now is to have a really good set, and you could tour the whole world. Like James McCann, you know that dude from Australia? Very,
If I see him, I might know.
very funny. Yeah, very funny. So funny that Shane Gillis worked with him in Australia and convinced him to move to America. And then brought him to the mothership. Curly hair,
I've seen it here. I've
glasses.
seen it here. Yeah.
Very fucking funny. And very smart. And really nice guy. Super short. Nice guy. But he's one of those guys who's like, he's like, what am I doing? I can't do anything over here. It's like, it's hard. You have to be festivals. Like, every year artists will write like a new hour, you know, and it'd be like about a subject.
Yeah, and that's another thing. They do those hours, and after the year, they don't record those hours.
Right.
There's so many comics in Europe, England, Australia, because I've been to those festivals that do their hour and then
Right.
to catch people up with you, to create views, well, at least have like one big record of it.
Well, they have a weird system.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I was talking to McCann about what the festival system is like. Because like the festivals are kind of like the only thing in common. There's a few clubs. Like there's a really good club there with Ari Matty, crazy enough. And Hinchcliffe and I did that like 9 years ago, I think. So there's some comedy clubs. I'm sure there's some in Sydney.
I
But
did one in Sydney.
when you're traveling, you're doing like these comedy tours. Right. And so it's festival-based stuff. Like there's a bunch of different festivals that people go to, and when they go to festivals, like that's one of the things about like Scotland when they do that Edinburgh. Those guys, the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, those guys they create a new hour every year. Yeah. And you're gonna come back and talk about trauma, or talk about what it's like to be whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever stage of life they're in, whatever stage of politics they're in.
And that's what people expect, which is interesting, because it's not really American style stand-up the way you and I do it, or the way it's traditionally done. They're doing like story-based stand-up, which is steamrolled.
Yeah, I've seen somewhere that they look all one woman showy. So
Absolutely.
So there's gaps of talking, and then
Which is great.
Which is fine because like
it's just a different thing.
It's just a different
You're doing a different thing. Like when I'll say things that I don't believe at all. Just because it's funny. It's like, it's ridiculous. Also, I want to keep saying things that I don't believe at all. This is just for fun. Like, the whole thing is supposed to be for fun. This idea that comedy is supposed to be, I mean, it can be anything, right? It can be this, like, educational thing to your life, to who you are right now.
I need to do more of that. I hold back from that.
Because you live in LA.
Nah, I think it's just me. You know what I mean? Like I see. Like I see you say some stuff. I see other people say some stuff, and it making me think now. Just if I'm to get to this flow state when you're on stage and the glow is around with you, I might have to like step on that plane a little.
You do when we're hanging out. You talk bad shit when we're hanging out.
That's true.
Because it's wild shit.
No,
You just take it down a notch when you get on stage.
Yeah.
You just gotta treat those people the same way you treat your best friend.
Yes. I don't trust people like that.
I don't either, but that's why I take their phones away. That's why they all have their phones behind your back. But also the phones behind your back. So it's hard for me, man. I get it. It's hard for me to not check my phone. I want to like see if anybody texts me. I get bored for 3 seconds. I'm like, what's in the news? 3 seconds. I get it, but sticking that phone in a bag is good. It's good for us because we get a chance to fuck around. We get a chance to come up with new stuff that like. There's a bunch of times you say something like, I didn't mean it that way. It just I'm trying to figure out the right way to say it, and it comes out bad.
Right.
Line about that. He's like, you got to realize that a bad joke that offends everyone and a great joke both come from the same place.
Right.
I'm just trying to laugh.
Right.
It's not some agenda. But sometimes people something.
Yo, dog. Yo, can you hear me? Bruno. Yo, can you hear me?
Hello. No compreendo. No compreendo.
Oh, okay, buddy. Well, you don't sound 18, big man, so we're going to let you be on your way. So just one moment.
You joga no brioche?
Dog, no one knows what you're saying. Anywhere. Not 18. Peace, dog. This is bullshit.
Something it's gonna be funny. You try it, you give up on it, or you can figure out that iconic bit. I love black people. I hate them. It just bombed. The long is there was something in there, but it was just long. How long? Like a year. Iconic. Just figured it out. And sometimes there's bits like that. They just like you gotta take the chance of offending people. You don't offend them.
I don't mind doing that. I do have bits. I have bits that offend people that shouldn't even offend you. They always have. But there are bits where I'm like, all right, I'm going for here. But there is like, I still have these rules about offending. You know, not that I don't. Sometimes they was for it, right? But they cannot be a where I have to apologize. Right. So I'm like, protagonist or antagonist. Yeah. Like, I do want to antagonize, I do want to say some shit, but I'd be like, I can't say it that way. So I don't know, maybe I have to take more risk. I gotta figure this out. Like, you know how we talk about naturally, like we talk about cat and all these and can. I feel like there's a gear that's right. Yeah, that's trouble. Well, and I don't want to be like that because that's freedom to get to reach, right? And others, I think that's a lot of it's intention. Like put your intention on that really working hard on that. And it's a lot of it sets a night. Just too much. Like 6 hours of talking, but it's like a guy who's training for a fight. You can't train the way you train for a fight all year round because your body will break down. So fight so they peak for a competition, and then they get into the last week and the last day coast. So their body gets a chance to recover. So they're basically almost killing themselves. But in that almost killing themselves, they recover for that week. Oh, strong. And so I think I was doing that for like, I was good at that for about 3 months, which is like a fight camp. And then it was like my voice started going, and I was like 6 hours of comedy. But there's something that comes from doing that instead, like exploring thoughts. There's a lack of tension, which holds us back. Most things people do that are difficult. One of the key things that holds them back is attention. They're tight. You don't feel loose. They'll actually get very frustrating. Like, what is that? Where is that loose thing? I know it's in there. I gotta find it. Yeah. I remember the first time I killed you. And it's nothing now, but at that moment, nothing now. It's okay. But when I see, like, Jerry Seinfeld, I didn't really kill. But the first, like, take the great response from beginning to end. And I went on that night, and she's the thing you put it up. Only they did just hit. I watched it. Like, it was a real out of, and then when I was done, and the applause and the laughter, I killed it. And then I was really sweating like that. Because I got high on stage. Nobody drugs there. But this is what drugs feels like. Because
You got it from the ride. Yeah, that's what the ride is when you almost feel like you're a passenger of your own act. You're so in it that and you're so not getting into you, or you can feel like the other part of you is like, you got this, we're gonna take care of this. Like, oh, this is so much fun. Let me sit back and watch it work. And you don't get in the way. That other person gets in the way. It's like if you're driving with someone and they're a backseat driver, like, you gotta come in the way. I fucking see him, man. Relax. Sometimes I don't have my blinker on. You know, there's people like that, and they make you tense.
yes.
Right? That guy is in your head. That person who makes you tense when you're driving, the fucking backseat driver, that is in your head. That fucks with you all the time. Like, you might think it doesn't, but
Yeah, it doesn't, because I don't even hear it or see it. I just know it's something.
I don't know.
Yeah, but backseat driver.
If you can control that, then there's that. Done it a bunch of times, then it's the most frustrating you can get there.
Yeah, because I did it that night without trying.
Right.
Like, I walked on stage just like any other night. But what was the difference with that night? That I had this.
You recorded
right?
I got lucky that I met this guy, Mike Donovan, who's a comic in Boston, who's a big headliner in Boston, very funny guy. And he recorded all the sets. He was pretty back then. Yeah, he had a whole fucking thing, and he goes, you never know. One thing you might say that is like the best thing you ever said, and it comes off the top of your head, and you'll forget it. You might have a new tagline that comes in your head in a moment, and it kills, and it becomes like the main punchline of the business. You don't record those, you can't forget things.
I record all my sets now. And then we'll have those moments when I didn't even remember saying that. The best thing I've said in months.
Maybe that's that extra work. It's all about you doing things.
I know, bro. It's me to get myself to listen to myself.
It's hard, yeah. But you know, this is what we try to address. Is that you have a totally different way of doing it, but at least we feel like an honest framework of how we did it and what we and why we think we did that, why it comes out funky. The thing we try to do is just set up where there's a bunch of stops. Like, so there's 2 days of open mic nights. There's 2 auditions for the job. You need to act. So Adam has to watch act and say, okay, I know you've been doing this for X amount of years. It's like, you get a chance to watch, interviews, get a chance to watch Shane Gillis, all these great, Jimmy Collins, all these great comedians there all the time. It's like the greatest education in stand-up you could ever do. And everyone's cool to you. Everyone's going to be friendly. Everyone's going to answer questions. Everyone's going to, and then you get to it. It's the number one place where the meeting break out in America today. The number one place to sit down. If you have one good fucking minute and you rock the house in 1 minute, you can change the course of your whole life.
Yeah, that gave me chills.
Change it ever and ever. When you're at that stage where you're doing comedy in Seattle, it's not that good, you fuck it up. I'm gonna go to Austin, scratch up some fucking waiter, get in your car, drive all the way to Texas, one man don't get up. Stay there. I'm gonna stay on Monday. Back next Monday. It's actually shit. And then next thing you know, meeting you're going all over the world. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty get up. If they don't get up, it's a drag. You get up, and you just get mediocre. That's not good either. That's Madison Square Garden. To a sold out show. It's like it's the first time you lace up the gloves like Mike Tyson when he was 20. They deserve that. They fucking deserve that. Or Mike Tyson. Yeah, it's like fighting 20 the first time you ever lace up the gloves. You take one practice. And your first opponent is Mike Tyson at his prime. After he just beat Trevor Burbank. Right. Good luck. Or even before you beat Trevor Burbank, even better. Madison Square Garden, Madison Square Garden, sold out show, kill show. If you're on the Bills, Dice Clay is there. Big J. Okerson, David Tell's there. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. Why would you do that? Because I feel like some of those people are not. Well, some people are just insane. You know, it's like, you ever watch like videos like, why are you fighting? You don't know how to fight at all. It's so crazy. They're out cold. People are crazy. I watch some of those backyard fights. Yeah. Like, not the one that I watch, but it's pretty popular. You know, they got like events around there. Yeah. And they try to make it official, right? But I'm like, I'm watching this more than I watch UFC because there's something about it. What is it about that I won't watch Division 2 soccer? I'll watch Premier League. That's a good point. Like, do you watch the other professional below UFC leagues sometimes? You do? Yeah, I do. But, like, for me, I'm a soccer snob, so I want to watch. There's too many of the best guys playing. I think soccer is good. I think it's a lot of products out there. So, like, many organizations as possible. So it's a bunch of people sort of guys from Dagestan. I stoned her. They say he's the best fighter. He was in the UFC. So he started out when he was 19 in this fifth where it's like flat, but kind of like a little slow.
Yo, what's up, son? Yo, hello. Oh my, go fuck yourself. Yo, Omar, dog, go fuck yourself. Yo, if you're watching me on Pump Fun, come to my Discord, dog. Let's talk. We got bitches in here. We got pimps in here. We got hoes in here. We got all kinds of... What up, baby? What?
We're not bitches.
I'm not talking about you, and I'm making a joke. No, that person who just spoke is the queen of this Discord. And she is definitely not a bitch and definitely not a hoe. She is a pimp, though. I'll say that. We've got lots of people in here. Come on in. Omar in here. Omar's a bitch. There's no doubt about that. So come on in. Say hello.
You're not, you're this.
I know. I'm just trying. I'm just trying to get people in here any way possible. Have a good time. The water's fine. Enjoy yourselves. And we will, again, reiterate, Miss Aquarius, and no offense, was meant to be communicated to her. I wasn't even looking to see who was in here at that time. Huge uptick in people here. So that's great.
Okay, then he had a kid that became out. And maybe like when he's like,
Where you at, Rabbi? You're on the crypto?
Yeah. So they're like
Crypto at the Discord?
yeah, it's kind of just like it's like how would I like Twitch, but it allows you to live stream. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's like Twitch, which allows you to live stream, but there's money connected to it. So like yesterday, people made $10,000 off of me.
Off of you?
Yeah, I made like $50, so that was okay.
Where do you make money?
It's a cryptocurrency, so basically people find you interesting, and then they either buy your coin or hold your coin or sell your coin, just depending.
Real money?
Yeah, real money, 100%.
Oh, no. Where is it? I want to see.
Okay, so go to pump, P-U-M-P, .F-U-N.
Hold on.
Good girl.
You said P-U-M-P?
Yep. Pump.F-U-N.
Okay.
Pump.F-U-N.
Okay.
And then let me know when you're there.
This is pump fun? That's it?
Yeah, pump.fun.
Oh, pump. That fun. Pump. How it works. Doing the question. Oh, okay.
And then in the search, search
Remember, girl. I see somebody sending two things. A lot of them. For 9K.
I'm not sure. I'll be right back, Mr. Aquarius. I'll tell you in a second. So if you go to, can you hear me? You're good. All right, so and pump fun. It's a search. Okay. Okay, so in search, just type year of rabbit. Do you see that?
Now the search is Rabbi, right? R-A-B-I.
Correct.
Okay. And then I put in, okay, rabbit. It's a year rabbit.
Year of rabbit. Then it's iridescent rabbit shark.
Yeah.
Then crazy rabbit coin.
Don't see that.
Okay, what's it say next for you?
It says Rabbi.
Okay, there should be a picture of me. It's actually not that one.
Okay, I'm put Rothschild.
No, don't do that. Just type in, see how I can find it better.
Okay, I see something. It's a yellow, it's a circle. Is that too?
Yeah, click it.
Just for 1K 19 hours ago?
Yeah, click it.
Okay. Oh, I see it. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. He's live already.
Yep. I don't know why it's so dark.
Yeah, you're in fuck. Nice. You're the only one live?
No, there are other people live, but
Cool.
there you go.
Okay. We'll be back. Have fun with that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Relax. Oh. Like, you know.
They bring me back. Yep. It seems to be brighter now.
my nose.
Well, this is like translating ancient language. How do I not know who this guy is? You don't know? I can't remember. I'll tell you exactly. What organization is the best fighter of all time?
But they
You're saying he's the best fighter of all time.
it's a personal video. Yeah, it's a YouTube video. They put the combination together. But let me tell you. Okay. Like, I some fighters with you, and I watched you do it.
I'm sure.
Like, I remember, like, the first time I saw Israel. I saw his compilation stuff before, and this is before UFC. Right? And then I said, hey, man, is this guy real? And you were like, yes. So this guy,
See, he's a perfect example. I had my eyes on his.
Let's see here. This is
Right.
called
Because the kickboxing world is fucking people up with style points.
yes, this guy too.
Yeah. Okay. And
Let's see here.
you don't remember him, Mike?
Let's try Mike something Jr. That's all I got.
You're so good. You have Jamie Kidd was funny. He's like, that's not good information. That GPT.
He was a
Alright, let's go to this one, dude.
and he's married. He's married right now.
Okay.
But he was like, his style was like the type of
This is driving me
dream of just like he for his hand too.
If you tell me that this is, I'll tell you everything about it. Right. I'm trying to figure out through this. Jamie usually is pretty psychic, but with your amount of information, it's like I would say if you're a witness, I mean, the way this guy described it, saying I don't like it. I pulled the other detective aside. I go, I think it's got this thing's full of shit. He's trying to throw it. He works for the
I should have bookmarked this guy. I should have bookmarked this guy because I need to know this guy. It's really like this narrative is saying, but he fought the moment with this thing.
Are you sure that this was the real person that they just put together an actual thing? Did you get it by some AI?
He was born how about had a low flat top. How about that, guy? Light skin, lanky.
How long ago? I guess that would be better. Yeah, what year are we talking
I would
about?
say he might have ended his career like 2008, 2005, or something. Because I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, I gotta start watching First Fight. So then it got to like, oh, this guy's retired. And he was retired like maybe late 30s.
Listen, there's a lot of guys like that, unfortunately, that are really good. And then you watch them like one or two fights, and you go, oh my God, this guy might be the best in the world. It's just every time. It's so brutal. It's the most brutal sport ever. You're using your body to try to break another person's body. And the most separate them from you know, or the legs out so that they can't walk anymore. And it's like, why they got to be right there outside of the octagon, and they're going to be there instructing, and they were in the locker room. Right before the person enters the ring, because I might not exit the same way I exit, or exit. Yeah. You know, so that's what that's how it is. When you're like, yeah, goodbye. What's the last thing you do to support that person that you love? Let's probably go call me a beat him up. That was hard. The Steve Day one was hard. You know, especially when it's hard. It's just hard.
Not the same thing as scoring a touchdown.
Because you know it's fucking devastating. It's like a loss. It's like you lost a ball. You know, it's just affecting you right now. Yeah, it's thinking about it.
All right, that's our show.
That's like, it's hard. Yeah. But like, for me, the hardest one was Shaw, because Shaw did want to quit. The thing about Brendan that most people don't know is how many concussions he took. So you see the fight because this is why with Shane Carwin there. Shane Carwin was interim heavyweight champion, the biggest fist ever registered for the UFC. He had like 5 XL fists. Bro, he was so big, it was ridiculous. He was like in the Avengers, like he would be like the Hulk. He doesn't look like a real human. Right. All the other people there, and then Shane Carwin was like freak. He's a freak. And Brendan Shaw just all the time. And he would get knocked out all the time. That's what he would get concussions all the time. He got a concussion like days before he fought the year. Like he was getting concussions all the time. I knew about all that shit too, and I was seeing the effects. And I was like, you gotta get out now. If you don't get out now, there's no happy ending. There's no happy ending to the guy who gets knocked out. Right. It's terrible. I was watching a video the other day. Mike Tyson. Like a bodybuilder almost.
Right. Was it a white guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's just unfortunate. But you watch it like, oh, you go,
Oh, okay.
this is just how it goes.
Yeah, like
Yep, all the greats. That's right. This is the guy that fought him. He's like going after him, man. It's crazy. But he pushed him away to get after him. Great. I mean, so every step's a bullet right there. But Tyson's phenomenal. It's like physically phenomenal. Look how took him. How's the rest of your life?
If you want to see what we really thought, check out the
Did it spawn it up there?
Yeah, it's just enough. You know where this fucking story is?
Not the corner right there.
I was reading yesterday. Jerry Ford was the guy who fought Muhammad Ali when Muhammad Ali had just got his license back. So for 3 years, he wouldn't fight Vietnam. They took away his championship and took away his license. Couldn't make and it looked like he had been on the couch. He didn't look like Ali anymore. Didn't physically look like Ali. He wasn't ripped. He didn't look fat. He looked kind of like
Physique.
he's changed the way he fought. He's like, look at him there. He looks good. So this was the first fight back. Jerry Ford was a really tough Irish guy. And him and his brother were like notorious for having like horrific gym fights. He was a good fighter, right? He was a good fighter, but he died young and he had terrible dementia before he died. And so did his brother. His brother, see, Ford had a bunch of pro fights. He fought like Frazier. He might have fought like Ken Norton. He fought like big time heavyweight power punchers and legends. That was good. Like,
You don't know. You didn't count them out of bar fight.
Exactly.
You know.
But the thing is, again, I'm good. Ali was he went figures off. But now I want to show you something different though, because we've seen this Ali. But first of all, take care of those fucking those strings.
The guy that
How
was
that shape that?
like the
Break that shit
toss
up.
or he looks like the guy that came up with
Show me Ali versus it's Big Cat Williams.
stay on.
This is my never saw. You know, and he was boxing him and looking good, but this Ali is like, good luck getting him. Good luck. That's a great guy, right? How do I? And this guy who he's fighting, even Big Cat Williams, was killer. He had vicious power, man. Look at his build. He couldn't let him hit you. But good, his power wasn't done. Couldn't let him get him. And broke tunes him. Yes, quite a bit. No. Excuse me. I was thinking of, I was not sure listening. I was thinking of He being listed with the title. This is after that. This is when he was already out. Because when he beat yesterday, he was black and white. So this was right.
Let that guy again.
Okie doke.
They made him retire. So this is like 19. Fourth retire. Yeah, look at that. Backwards. Moving backwards with the 1-2. And it's so crazy because the windup, man. It's just they don't think right. You should watch a little bit of
All right.
And you know how dangerous it was for our
This is a moving man sport.
Exactly. This is the first guy in the heavyweight to ever move like that. Nobody moves like this, man. Look at that combination. Woo! Then he stands over with his hands up.
It's picture embarrassing.
Okay. There we go. Okay. All right.
Song
All right,
1.
Rabbi. Gonna go back to street.
Okay.
Song 2.
Sounds like a plan.
Song 1. Song 2. Song 3. 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 Song 1. Song 2. Song 3.
So this is at the bell, right? So they get him in the corner, they get him smelling.
Song 1. Song 2. Song 3. Song 1. Song 2. Song 3. Song 1. Song 2. Song 1. Song 2. Song 3.
But the controversy
Song 2.
But is that he intentionally cut the glove? Respectfully, probably right. Because if the glove all of a sudden was torn right after a knockdown, how many other times in his career has he had a torn glove where the fighter was winning? 0 times.
How do you keep
If he was in Henry Cooper's corner, they found that cut.
Are you fucking serious?
He wouldn't say a fucking second about it. That face, the face was busting him up. I think he stopped the fight.
That's just the way it is. And
If
I
I
will take
remember
a
correctly.
podcast. That's all. I will tank
I used to watch the
my
old
through
school
my
fight,
bring
but
that
it's
fight.
so long,
We've
I
had some
can't
great
remember
podcasts
the
before. Yeah,
full
let's have
details.
some
Like,
great
I knew he
podcasts.
was talking about.
Open up,
Just
please.
remember his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
He was listening to Bob Foster, so watched this whole piece on Bob Foster last night.
Now you're fucking all monkey
Bob
pants.
Foster, he was the light heavyweight champion when Ali was the heavyweight champion. And I believe I know that Ali it was once tried to go up to heavyweight, just didn't carry over because he was a weirdly shaped guy. Like he was tall, but he was not muscular at all. Give me a Bob Foster KO highlight. I got a whole because I watched this one video of the way they talk about Bob Foster and how deceptive he was. I went down a Bob Foster rabbit hole. And it's also the confidence in this video. He's talking about taking 1 or 2 rounds and then just knock him out. Is he the black guy or the white guy? Black guy. Bro, Foster had, look at this, bro. It's the brow.
This
It's like a mother beating a child. Bro.
Had tremendous power, man. Like the whip is similar in a lot of ways to Tommy Hearns. But he's a lot bigger. He's a 175 pounder. But it's that whip, just like punches that Foster had. Look at the turn, like get it out of torque and you get it. Boom! Look at that,
You know, the arms that he does,
Foster fucked a lot of guys. He did. He just wasn't quite big enough to beat Ali. You know, Ali was solid 35, 40 pounds heavier than him. That's just too much. Oh, that's it. Because Corey heavyweight.
these guys just got to decide.
No. Corey just died because of it much earlier. That was that's all good. That's what it says. Gotcha. David said. Okay. Oh. Foster versus Dick Tiger. This is a good one. Because he said about Dick Tiger, like Dick Tiger was a champion at the time, I believe. And he said about Dick Tiger, it was taking 1 or 2 rounds to get him on that round. Boom! He had this power that was just undeniable, man. There's some dude when he throws it, like everybody, like as a young boxer learning, look at this guy, like the whip.
This is unfair to
Yeah, see, that's all Mike Tyson's opponents who got fought line.
But that's why I like Mike Tyson. Like, wasn't 6 feet tall? Wasn't 6 feet tall? And he could get inside.
Oh my God, it's like a tornado.
Yeah. And sometimes he stays real down. Yeah. Like if he's going above his head, and then I come up with it.
Yeah. But we would have fun. He was playing with his food back in those days. He was having fun with guys. He was having fun. It was different things. We've never seen a heavyweight move like that before, right? So there's Ali. Never seen a heavyweight so agile, so fluid on his feet. He looked like a better version of Sugar Ray Robinson at heavyweight, right? If you believe it, right? Which is crazy. But also, he wasn't fighting the caliber of fighters. Well, I guess he was, because when he became a champ, the second time around, he definitely did. When he got into like Frazier and Foreman. But I always wondered, man, if he didn't know in those 3 years, I don't know if any of those dudes could have touched him.
Right.
If he kept that up, like what he was versus Cleveland Big Cat Williams, and you add 3 more years, because I think Frazier became the champ after he retired. I don't think they beat that version of Ali, and we don't get the Jerry Corey version because Ali's not sitting on the couch for 3 years.
But it saved the brain damage for way later than it.
Yeah, but maybe it did, because maybe he wasn't agile anymore, so it took more.
So it took more blows when he came back.
He had to rely on his chin, and he had a tremendous chin. But it's just, I always as a person who sees guys in their prime, because I think what year was Ali when they took his license away? How old was he? I want to say he was 27. And then 30. He comes back at 30, which is near quickly for a lot of fighters. Yeah, it gets near there. Yeah, it gets near quick. 3 years. The thing is, he wasn't a guy that was like a Bernard Hopkins, who just stayed in the gym, kept running every day. He wasn't that guy, and he was always involved in a lot of political things because he was active. He was a very outspoken anti-war activist, and they took away his livelihood. Bernard Hopkins had the whole he was 25 when he took his life.
There's like caveats in there.
And he came back at 28.
Okay, so there's obvious evidence that he's the GOAT. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm glad we did that. I'm surprised the shot doesn't even treat Yeah, that's true.
I think Eddie Cat Williams is the last fight that we have before they strip away his title because they want him to fight in Vietnam, which is just crazy. So 5 centuries, so he comes out in 70, he gets towards almost 4 years, right? It was 3 years from the time when that was 66.
Oh my god, those
are prime years, you know, but the not training. That's the big thing.
I know how I got that I'm trainer.
Yeah, but you don't know what like that your muscles deteriorate. Like your muscles will go away.
Right. And your reflexes and
all of it.
So like
It might take years to learn. And in his case, he never did. He never built back to the level. He didn't come out and just move around. And so he just did. Right. It was different.
That was different. It was a heavier shit. Because he was heavier. Yeah, he was heavier.
It's not more than a few months. So you're gonna bang, hey, Muhammad, you gotta get ready. Like he's like, I'll be ready. I'm born ready. Why are you telling me joking around? Yeah,
go on, how to take this serious.
I'm ready right now. Something put on the phone. Because he would talk shit to people and he didn't say anything.
Right.
So if you're mad, like, good luck getting hurt. That's the greatest of all time. I am the greatest.
They'll have you trained
to Howard Cosell. And Howard Cosell said, you sound very truculent, champ. He goes, whatever truculent means, if it's good, I'm that.
Yeah.
With zero hesitation.
I remember one time that I'm so fast, I'm turning off the light and get to bed before it gets dark.
Nobody had been like that. Nobody talked like that. Nobody moved like that. He was a totally different thing.
He was stand-up comedy funny.
Yeah.
He was that. Like when I watch his old videos, like probably he was watching by the fight. Yeah. But Muhammad Ali talking properly.
Yeah.
That's how fucking entertaining this motherfucker was.
Yeah, it was so entertaining. Yeah, he was so entertaining. And because of his refusal to fight the Vietnam War, he represented a generation.
Yeah.
He represented young people that were like, yeah, this is fun. We're doing it. You know, and people had him on the trainer, but in the end, we all kind of realized, well, oh, you're right.
They didn't realize they were on the wrong side of history.
People don't know back then because the only war they had remembered before that, I mean, there was Korea, but really people remember World War II.
Right.
World War II, we got to fight the bad guys, we did our thing, we stood up for our country, and that's why we got the greatest country in the world right now. So you're not going to do your part, man. It's up to you.
Yeah.
And then during the Vietnam War, it was like, wait a minute. This might be a drug running operation. We might be like fighting in the jungle because someone wants to control drugs.
Is that what Vietnam War was? I got a drug thing.
I believe there's a lot of factors, but I believe one of the major factors was control of opium trade.
That is one.
Well, I mean, I want to say that about Afghanistan as well. Yeah, because the production of heroin out of Afghanistan ramped up after we were there, and we were guarding the poppy fields.
I think it's still a prices that they put in the house. for the same.
It's the same. It's the same thing. It's like it's all heroin. The one thing was 90-something% of the world's heroin supply is coming out of Afghanistan. And that's why we were over there. We were over there guarding those people. Actually, we, not me. Not me. We were there.
Yeah.
What Americans were, and Ronald Rivera fucking went over there to visit them and talk to a guy, this military guy, who explained why they have to guard the poppy fields.
Then what did the guy say?
It's like basically saying, you know, we have to protect these people from Al Qaeda. Like, listen,
Al Qaeda, we saw
you
this.
know how gaslighting that is? Think how gaslighting that is. We kind and humble heroin growers. We have to protect them from these other people who are just and we're the good guys.
And especially the word Al Qaeda. When I watched, was it Rambo 3, which was Rambo in Afghanistan, watched the credit. Produced by this, Al Qaeda. It's in the credits. It's in the credits because he was Afghan by Russia. We were funded Al Qaeda. They've seen Mr. Charlie Way for funnel money. He knew Congress was going to give, like, you know, like, give both half a package for Israel. So they weren't going to vote to give a package to, like, help us fight. That is true. So why is he saying that? Money and weapons to Al Qaeda. He figured out get funding and circumvented to Al Qaeda so that they could fight the Russians. It's all a part of the Cold War, right? And like in Vietnam, Russia fought us, but to Vietnam, and in Afghanistan, we fought them back to Al Qaeda. And that's what's going on right now too. So what's the deal with the Ukraine? Because I kind of know what's going on, but I kind of confused.
Well, we fund this.
Right.
We, along with the other European countries, funded. You know, and it's kind of the same thing. It's in a similar way. But this is what they really want control over is the resources. It's the soil, ordinary amount of soil, but the real thing is the amount of rare earth minerals, the computer stuff, the phone stuff. Yeah, they're sitting on it is enormous amounts of rare earth minerals. They also have natural gas. So this is when Biden was running the Rothschild, which is a Ukrainian energy company. Like, why is he like, what is the deal there? What they're trying to do is control energy, control the market for that, and have access to the gas. There's enormous resources, right? And the war is partly over that, right? Partly over cross NATO cross the line, cross.
But when I did the arm that I just right next to Russia, exactly.
It's not obviously they're a part of NATO, and NATO promised that they wouldn't move the arms close to Russia. And you know, the idea is that if they wouldn't do that, Putin would probably take over everything. Go to Poland, lead NATO. So I see both arguments. And obviously, the person who invaded our country is the bad. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. Hundreds of thousands of people are trying to. You don't know what the real motivation for our is to like go, oh, so he
the laws.
And he's trying to figure out, like, okay, so the script
With that vote.
They made up an
it's too obvious.
just with the horrific memory, like screaming.
Yeah.
They see people die. They see their friends die. They maybe have to kill people.
Yeah.
You don't want them to say
Trauma. And then the
someone
you, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, he's a traitor." And like half the country, just like anybody can do that. When half the country's mad at you, and then half the country loves you.
Right.
And after a while, it's the whole country. And they'll realize,
Is there ever going to be a point where there'll be one person that the whole country loves?
Jesus.
It felt like it was like that back in the day. Like, there were some people like that, but now
Before social media.
yeah,
Because even people like that back in the day, where the whole country loved on television and in the newspapers, in real life, there's always some guy at the gas station talking shit about that guy. You know, there was always someone at the gym talking shit about that. People always talk shit. They just didn't have a public forum.
but if somebody talks shit about that guy, you know, people just talking that shit to him, they're like, what is wrong with you? Right, this is a great guy. That's what I heard. This is
Yeah.
This guy beat you in high school. Let it go.
They're like,
Right.
Yo,
fucking weird, man.
what up, Mr. Meaty? How you living, pimp?
You know, it's giving voices to people that maybe really didn't earn a voice. Nothing. It's bad. I don't think it's bad.
I don't think it's fair.
I think it's good. Even the chaos of that, people that shouldn't get all that attention getting attention, it's like bad for them. It's bad for everybody. But it's better net. Like if you look at like the overall amount of good it does, it's way better than that. So it's just a good thing that everybody has to deal with. Like, one of the things is the info.
Right. But also, like, just as a black person growing up and watching the news, right? It always felt slanted and against us anyways. And then even though Brandon said this or Chris Rock said this Neil Brandon, like a lot of white people are finding out now that shit that black people always you know, about like not trusting the cops all the time or the FBI all the time or pharmaceutical drug companies all the time or yeah, they will drop a shit load of drugs and guns off in your neighborhood. Yeah, and fuck it up and ruin it. Probably did on purpose. Yeah, because shit, they started popping pills on another continent. Where you think that shit is going to take?
No, that's just what Drew A. Richie Ross a bunch of times, right? And he was selling coke for the United States government and no idea. And they were letting him. And he was going to put Iran Contra. Yeah, that was the Contra. Yeah, Iran Contra. They were funding the Contras versus the Sandinistas.
He didn't even know.
I don't know which side we were funding, but we were funding one.
Yeah, the anti-communist side. So guerrillas who were fighting against the communists. Government made it.
There's a bunch of those dudes that are just playing war games. They're playing war games. And they get to do it back in the 80s. Back then, they got to do it without any oversight. Right. They just play war games. And they're live. And then,
They're like, just tell them this.
I remember Jimmy Tingle, very funny Boston comedian, he had a joke about Ronald Reagan. Because they brought Ronald Reagan to the trial. And they said that Jim sell arms to Iran. He's like, I don't recall. And he goes, Mr. President, he goes, next time you sell arms to people who hate us, jot it down. He goes, make a note. Put it on the refrigerator. But that's sort of, it was falling apart at that time. People didn't believe it. They're like, come on, you can't remember, but and then it goes,
that was his defense. The fact that you're not first.
CIA versus the Contra. Okay. CIA recruited, funded, and trained the Communist Revolution for Somoza's National Guard. I think he was playing it off, but then I don't know because he did get dementia. He got Alzheimer's real bad. At the end of his life, he couldn't remember shit.
But I feel like he got the Alzheimer's like 20 years later. I could be wrong. I don't remember years no more. But I remember he I feel like towards the end,
Dude, how you living, pimp?
but like,
Dude. What up, big dog? All right, what'd you do, big man?
I bought a ticket to singles night.
Oh, like to pick up chicks?
Yeah.
That's great, man. I am happy with you. When is that?
The early bird tickets for the males and the females have already sold out, so it's probably going to be a bigger day.
All right, when is it?
Thursday night.
It's on Thursday night. There you go. Why don't you ask out Chelsea?
Nah.
What?
Yeah.
Why don't you just ask her out for coffee?
So I could have said that last night, but
Why didn't you?
I could have got stand up.
Why didn't you?
Far away.
What do you mean it's too far away? Couldn't you take a train there?
So I got 3 gigs.
Okay. What are your 3 jokes?
I got 3 gigs.
But none of them are paid. What are the 3 jokes you're going to do? Zoot, let's hear your first joke. If you don't remember it, I'll tell it to you.
I gotta do the joke about God having Down syndrome.
No, that joke sucks.
Why does that joke suck?
Okay, do the joke that you did a week ago Monday.
Why does that joke suck? Actually, what's a good joke about Tourette's?
Dude, this is a funny joke about Tourette's. All right, so you can say, when I was a kid, there was a person in my class who really liked to holler at chicks. And what he would do is, whenever he'd see a hot girl walk by, he'd say, damn, or titties, or boobies. And the teacher would say to him, you're not allowed to say those things. And he said, oh, I have Tourette's. 6 months went by, and it was mid-semester before his mom was called in to talk to her about her son's Tourette's. And she questioned the teacher. He doesn't have Tourette's. That's just a story that I heard, but I think it's funny.
That's just me in high school.
Would you do that?
I got something funny.
All right, tell me it. What's your joke, Zoot?
You ever seen someone masturbate with Tourette's?
Not to my knowledge.
You ever seen someone take their clothes off?
Not to my knowledge. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's happened to me once.
You just randomly took off your clothes?
Yeah, I had Tourette's.
How is that a Tourette's thing?
I was on a train and I forgot people were watching and I was having a tick and I started taking my clothes off.
Zoot, you got to get this taken care of, man.
There was no one on the train. Children or people around.
Yeah, dude, and you'd lose because you don't have a diagnosis.
How would I?
Because you don't have a diagnosis.
Oh, and I punched someone in the face and I Tourette's once and got arrested.
Away with it?
Yeah. That's right. I do.
Dude, I don't even know what to think of. What?
Yeah, you know. Autism that I had ticks.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
How do you get a diagnosis for Tourette's?
Dude, you do what you said you did like all last week or 2 weeks ago, where you were like, oh no, I went to the doctor, and you straight up lied. You lied multiple times about it. And I mean, that's just not cool. So,
Why does it? Why do I need one?
because they can give you medication to stop you from having tics.
No, they can not.
Dude, you're so full of shit. They make it. You should try it for a week and see if it helps. Instead, you just think
It's
it's
not real.
instead you're in denial. You think it's funny to punch people and to take your clothes off on the train and to ask, just annoy the shit out of people, and you don't realize.
What if they don't believe I have it again?
They
That's
will.
not
They
believe I have it.
absolutely will. All you have to do is tell them, hey, you know, I punched somebody and got arrested for it. You know, I almost took my clothes off in the on the train. And did you know that a girl got blamed when I was in kicking, but I'm the one who did it? And did you know that in high school I would sexually harass women? Like, they're going to give you a diagnosis and they're going to give you a medication for you to be able to. But with that being said, I'm happy that you got your diagnosis, or not diagnosis, you got a ticket to go to the thing. to singles night. So you think a lot of...
Yep.
Okay. What makes you think that? Just because it's sold out? How many people are supposed...
60.
Oh, 60 people? Okay, and where is it going to be held?
In the city at a pub.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
So why don't you talk when people ask you questions?
I am talking.
Okay, I just asked you a question. And how was it when you went previously?
Never went.
Dude, what the fuck, man? I honestly, dude, I don't mean to be mean, but I a lot of times don't like talking to you because you don't make any sense. I asked you, have you done this before? You said, yeah. And then 10 seconds later, you say that you've never been before. It's like you waste my time. I like you, but sometimes your social behavior makes you a very frustrating friend. Okay, so you've never been before, but it's going to be at a pub. There are going to be 60 people there, correct?
600
People?
Nah, it's like 60.
Okay, I mean, what is it? 60 or is it 600?
60.
Okay, so there are going to be 60 people there. So 30 guys, 30 girls, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Why does it take you so long to answer questions? Because why?
I'm waiting.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Rabbi,
What's that, big dog?
I think I have everything.
Yeah, I think you do too. But you're not getting help for the thing that you need. And it's very frustrating. And you may not see it as a problem, but it's the biggest thing holding you back in your life.
So not ADHD, not autism.
Zoo, you don't have autism. You don't have autism. You just got the diagnosis so you don't have to work and you get a stipend from the government.
What makes you think I don't have autism?
That's not what autism is. What you have is Tourette syndrome. And you need to get it diagnosed and you need to get it.
What's your definition of autism?
Not what you have. You have Tourette syndrome.
Sorry?
Not what you have. You have Tourette syndrome.
Do you know what autism is?
No one knows what that is.
No one knows what that is? Why do you think it's being diagnosed so much?
It's a moneymaker for pharmaceutical companies. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but you don't have it. You just got diagnosed with it so you don't have to work.
How is it a moneymaker for pharmaceutical companies if there's no drugs you can take?
There are drugs you can take for it. I mean, I'm not going to look them up. You can look them up. It's to care about you.
So is Tourette's a moneymaker for pharmaceutical companies?
Not a huge one, but they do make medicine to be able to help people with it.
Why do I want to cure Tourette's?
Because it makes it so that you can't get a job and you can't get a girlfriend and you're not doing anything with your life because you make awkward comments that cause people to not like you.
Like what?
You would sexually harass girls in high school. You take your clothes off in the train.
I never sexually harassed girls in high school. What the fuck?
You said you did. I said I was telling a story about someone, and you were like,
I never did that.
okay, well, I don't gamer, but you're not addressing the major problem that's going to hold you back in life. If anything, you get a diagnosis, and then they can put you on medication that can help you. I would see it as a major accomplishment if you did. But I mean, who cares about what I think? I'm telling you that it'll make your life a lot better. You are someone who's not living up to their potential. Could, if you were to get the diagnosis that you need. Instead, you want the easy way out. And you've done that everywhere in your life. You want the easy way out. You don't want to work at things. And that's fine. So instead of addressing the behavioral issue that an autism things to work. And then whenever anybody presses you on something, leave.
Rabbi, I gotta go to bed right now.
There you go. All right, big dog. You know the truth. Best wishes, man. I care about you and I want the best for you.
Especially if they don't take vitamins. Right. And if you're reading it, you want to remember everything that you George Johnson on the car. So Alzheimer's is almost like a blessing. Yeah, always got George W. You don't want to remember nothing. Yeah, you don't want to remember the Iraq war. We should people going to Iraq because we got attacked on 9/11 by someone who's funded by the South. I feel I already work things. I never questioned this. Yeah, I think question but face have I ever seen when it looks like they find out how dumb you are. The people that run the world, you don't know exactly how dumb you are. The only way to find out how dumb people after he tricked people into going into Iraq, started the war, and then he got reelected. That guy was crazy. I go, he won again. He won again. Like, people who run the war like, when someone's back again goes,
This is back
I
in the
think
day when I was going to Nigeria.
and he was right. He was right. There was we all felt duped by that one. You know, we all felt duped by a bunch of different things. One was the financial collapse, when the housing market collapsed, and then the guys started getting bonuses. They have to get their bonuses. The CEOs have their bonuses. What? Wait a minute. You guys, your bank collapsed and you get a bonus? What are we doing, Nick? It's our money? So you're taking our money and you're helping seed these banks. And then the CEOs get bonuses. We don't give them a bonus. They'll leave and go somewhere else. What is this logic?
Right. The thing I don't understand about 2008 is we had government all the time, dude. Exactly. So, listen, these bunch of people had the money, right? And they lost it. But when they lost it, it didn't get burned. Somebody else got the money. So then why was everybody broke? Like, somebody else got rich, but what were they doing with the money? Don't they do? Why did nobody have money?
See, this is where you and I, that we're not financially minded at all, right? So we're not the kind of elitist market people that would see an opportunity and take advantage of it, right? So what was the biggest transfer of wealth in modern history?
Don't they say that's kind of like
biggest transfer of wealth ever. So what happened was all of these mom and pop shutters, right? You can't go there. You don't have we're in a pandemic. Okay, you can only go to Target during the pandemic. You can only go to McDonald's during the pandemic. You can only go to Wendy's during the pandemic. You can't go there. It's a pandemic. You can't have your comedy club open. It's a pandemic. You can't have these restaurants. Are you kidding me? That's dangerous. Outdoor dining. What about the outdoors? Shut it down. And so, where's all that money going? Well, that money goes to all the other businesses that can stay open. Walmart, Target, all these things flourish. The stocks change. 70% plus of all LA restaurants went under. People lost millions of dollars. Where'd that money go? It got legally siphoned into other people's businesses that were allowed to stay open.
and also the stimulus, like a lot of big companies got stimulus checks. Like we got some dollars, but they got a lot of dollars.
There's been a bunch of those transfers where you won't look at it like a psychopath, like a complete sociopath who really understands how the system works. And if they'll explain it to you, you go, oh, that's what they did. Yeah, that's what they did. They told you you had to stay home. They told you to do this. Why they extended for so long to crush the economy? Because it didn't crush the economy for them.
Right.
It boosted their, the more they could keep you from spending money at those places, the more you had to spend money. And Amazon and anything that's open. Sorry, they closed the market so bad.
How much? And I had this question in my head 20 years ago because I noticed a lot. Right? And I was like, 20 years ago, I'm like, how much money do people have got money? I still have that same question because I feel like those people should have had enough 20 years ago when I asked to be like, all right, let me just chill. There's probably a different set of people who are like they were 20 years ago, but like, how much money do you want? And if you get all the money and nobody has anything, do you really have money? Because how are you going to get more money from people that don't have money? Because you took it up.
Well, no one's getting that much. That's sort of that's a funny way of looking at it. But there's different kinds of people that make money. Right? There's kinds of people that make money because they make a lot of things. That's like Elon Musk. That's his money. Right. And then there's kinds of people that make money that are only trying to make money. That's all they're trying to do. They're trying to do deals, they're trying to do this, they're trying to do that. But the whole idea is just to be one thing is to make things. Right. Like their to make Starlink. He's there to access to people all over the world. He's there to make electric cars. He's there to make electric roofs. He's there to make spaceships that can go up and rescue people and bring them back down and land. He's just making things, and because of making things, he's the richest guy on Earth. Right. By the way, that's different than the real world. Right? Like the real world, it might be Putin, it might be some king in the Middle East.
Federal Reserve runs that.
Yeah. Well, that's different too, because it's not like individuals, but yeah, it's a good point. But different. But the actual one richest person in the world in America is the way Forbes 500 guy is the guy who makes the most stuff. It's Elon. Right. You know, and then you have the guys that are just trying to make money. That's a different kind of cat. So those guys who are just trying to make money, those are weird ones. Because they're just number people. They're number people. And so they're thinking about numbers all the time. They don't give a fuck about you. They're just trying to make more numbers and get more and more sociopathic as you go down that road. Right. So my question is there an equation? Right? So all right, operation can't be. But some party, is there an equation that can prove that you can make more money from peace than war?
We're definitely making noise.
Yeah. For sure. And the giant box equation is the easiest way to do it is war. Trick people into doing it or your country. And, you know, it's like you're not going to make the same. It's like there's groups most amount of money from war. For sure, military defense contractors, they make the most amount. That is their business. Like, and you can't fault them. That's what they do. You need them. You need them.
They have a strong ball and they're not the people.
They're like a people that wants to. Like he's been choosing to let it off the we walk by here, they park in Seattle, that's for shut this down. They're all the time. I was thinking that today, I was like, they're always making these jets. Like, what do we do with the old jets? Right. You kind of have to blow off. You kind of have to like go launch some missiles. They have these extra missiles that they never kill anybody with. They're just sitting around, they're going to go bad. Stop trying to use them. Wasn't they doing straight money about a guy who sold arms? That's right. Yeah, Lord of War. You're selling weapons, you want a war. You know, and those are the guys that are getting these gigantic contracts. Like some guy comes in and he's like, I pledge to double defense spending stronger than it's ever been. Those guys who run to the stock market. We as people, why are we buying it? Because we know we don't know. We know that we're only learning to do now. Right? Like as a culture, I think it's only been like 10 years for people like, what the fuck is going on? I think 10 years ago, most people think Lee Harvey Oswald was JFK.
Even I had my doubt. And I'm like the most gullible motherfucker in the world.
You had your doubt?
Yeah.
I knew something about the story a long time ago because I read a book. But if you're the average person 20 years ago, you're not going to buy it.
Conspiracy theories. If you were the crazy person, stop talking to you. You got to stop.
Now, someone that you're close to, hey, just watch this. You know,
That's what I'm
watching it. So that comes out podcast like, oh my God, they framed it. Oh my God. Did I ever tell you what Bill Murray said? No. Bill Murray came in here, and the same guy, Bob Woodward, who was part of the University that took down Nixon, he wrote a book, and John Belushi, who was one of Bill Murray's best friends. So in the first 5 pages, he's like, oh my God, they framed Nixon. The book was so bullshit. It was so made up. Like, it was this made up character that John Belushi all the time. Right? Like, John Belushi died of a drug overdose. Wild thing called it Wired. And he said, 5 pages of it. Oh my God, they framed Nixon. Isn't that crazy?
One of the most conspiracy presidents of all time. So was he a good guy? Because he got rid of the gold standard.
He was not a good guy. Right? this is not a binary thing. Nixon was not a big psychedelic that made everything. And he did that specifically to target the anti-war movement and civil rights specifically. They wanted to take those people who were involved in the anti-war movement and civil rights and put them in jail. And the best way to do it, they were also grass, they were all doing mushrooms, they just make all that stuff super illegal and then bust them. And that's what they did. The entire the culture, like Nixon did, was catastrophic to civilization. Because who knows where we were this entire time from 1974, especially with Bob Woodward or we don't know actually that he did. Bob Woodward was intelligent. That's crazy. Why would they give that to a guy during his first project? His first major story is the biggest story in the history of the world, and he just happens to get naval intelligence. What? Like senior reporters, there's these people that are like beating the street. They're out there every day. And the guys who broke into Watergate, they're all FBI. So here's the thing: Nixon didn't have knowledge of it, but then they brought it to him and cut it up. And that's how they got rid of him. And they also got rid of Spiro Agnew, who was his vice president. They got him on corruption charges, kicked him out, put in Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford was in the Warren Commission. And then one of the things about Nixon is Nixon couldn't shut the fuck up about Kennedy trying to get the why is the bottom of the story that he lost because he's not thinking he did right. John F. Kennedy he lost JFK in the previous election, right? And you know, he knew that guy. And he started talking about it. And the problem talking about it is they're like, get rid of him. It's like he won at the time with most popular president of all time. Like he won to get the most amount of votes of anybody ever. Just look at him like a crook. He was a great, by the way, probably was. At the very least, he did cover up that crime. He didn't say, what? They did what? No, we're gonna make a press conference and we're gonna fucking find him, get it, and we're gonna come clean. Instead, he tried to cover it up. But to me, like, I think about Watergate or whatever. Remember? Was it really that big of a deal? Right. What was the real? What was the? Somebody broke it somewhere. Installed the Democrat Party, so the Republicans were listening to the Democrats. They're getting ready to campaign against them. So it's definitely illegal, but it's not that big of a deal because they're doing that to you right now. Right. Like, if you have your phone, you know me. If you know me. Your phone is bugged. Right? Like, shit. Good little dick pics like that. Those are all things that and, you know, that is something that we had to find out from Edward Snowden. Okay? You know, when that was exposed, we learned that, oh God, there's a mass surveillance program that's secret, it's been around forever, the NSA's been running it. Like, all that. What Nixon was doing was just a version of that, or not even Nixon, but what the crime was a version of that. Listening to the crime, they probably all listen to each other now. Right? They probably all hack into each other's email. They probably hack into each other's phone, hack into each other's email. Shit. You know, they do that. It's a dirty thing. It's big scared of that dirty. Political. Like you said, my phone is back. Because the world is a dirty, dark place. Filled with monsters. But there's still monsters. Like, I'm sorry we got monsters, but we have to fucking have a wall. Exactly. order quietly declared that NASA is now a spy agency. What? Nice. Redesignation. What is that? I don't know.
This is a legit, like,
They changed the name of it to football national department. So yeah. Typically, the agency will now have as a primary function counterintelligence, investigation, or national security work.
So when they went to raise money, from what I understand,
The major departure for the agency was historically focused on space exploration, as well as space and earth sciences over its 67-year lifespan. Not to mention that science and exploration stuff, NASA watch founder Keith Cowling, former scientist at the agency now closely follows internal and external politics throughout the blog post. There are signs that Trump's intentions behind the order were at least partially related to labor concerns, rather than the order also added that NASA to the Federal Service Labor Management Relations statute, excluding it from collective bargaining representation. The news that NASA will now be a spy agency was seemingly overshadowed in the media by the president's elimination of union rights for thousands of federal employees in days before Labor Day, despite multiple lawsuits challenging the change. I wonder if this is because of private space because they're so far ahead. Like Blue Origin is far ahead of what NASA does. Tesla, SpaceX is very far ahead of anything that they do. It's almost like you leave it in the hands of private companies that can do a better job of space anyway.
and then start not saying that it's no, I don't like why you doing that. I feel like they need more spines, but I feel like just turn something to a spine agency it already was. Right, and you're just like, let's just make it official. Right,
They put satellites in over there.
right, and we watch movies, and they're like looking at parts of other countries to try to track down the villain in the movie. Right, they're using, they're giving away kind of what's really happening.
So basically, so short-sighted because when you do
a
that,
spy,
you might get that initial,
organization.
What launching spy satellites? The spy organization.
Right,
Right? It's NASA's launching satellites. That's mostly what they're launching. They're not putting anybody on other planets anymore, directly. And they're not doing anything with the space shuttle anymore. So what are they doing? Why not be a spy agency? Because they with them. Yeah, they just gotta move around, boys. Yeah, can't be blockbuster forever.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they showed it in the room. They said, listen, aliens were real. This spaceships we have are all bullshit. There's a couple years left. So, we're not travel to the moon.
I believe in aliens. I don't really got them. But the denial is like, right. The harsh denial. It's like how we talked about back in the day. You didn't like the guy that everybody liked. They ostracize you if you believe it. They ostracize.
Oh, yeah.
And everything from the pay you realize if you keep drinking it, it's bad for you. Like, it's bad for you. It's good for you, and every day was good for you. You find out it's bad.
It also comes around low fat though. It's because there's not your body's like, what is this?
Right.
Like you boil out all the enzymes, you kill all the living organisms. It's way better. Glyphosate. There's all sorts of shit that's like Roundup. What the fuck is glyphosate? Oh, Roundup. Roundup. Like anybody close to a golf course. There was some study about getting Alzheimer's. Like that you can get Alzheimer's if you're within a mile or so of something.
Glyphosate was Monsanto, but they sold the company to the German company.
Exactly.
So then, for example, or they sold it from the cafe aboard it, and
Don't you need a headache for your
escape.
Look, you grab the thing, boy.
I can't even remember the order of the shit.
Yeah. That's nuts. Isn't that nuts? And they spray that shit on everything. Not only do they spray that shit on everything, they make certain plants that are genetically designed to be resistant to Roundup. So you can spray more of it on the corn. And then the thing is, they spray it on it at the end of the growth so I can dry it out. It's like a lot of glyphosate you get in your system unnecessary. They just
So, like the cities, sometimes, right, the money they spend a lot, right? It's like you could have put that money in making this shit healthy and good.
they can't. The problem with corporations as a entity. When you always want to make some money, figure out a way to make some money, and that's what you do. And then you justify it. You have lawyers, people drag it out, damaged by your product, and you keep moving because you're a piece of shit and you don't care. So,
Say you win.
Keeping people in court, saying about the violence,
But I feel like money that you spend could be spent to make a good, healthy product. So you can depends on what you're talking about.
because like if you're saying pharmaceutical drug companies, the way to make the kind of money that you gotta do some shenanigans. You gotta do some shenanigans. You gotta mandate medications, and you gotta brainwash people into thinking that they should be on your side, and then get them scared and say that if we don't take this medication, it could be literally the end of civilization. Like whatever it is, come up with whatever fucking people are gonna die, your kid's gonna die, everybody's gonna be more retarded. Just find a way to get people to believe, and they'll just all climb on board. They'll all climb on board because a lot of people are cowards, and that's what happens. And that's where it gets really weird because then they have an enormous amount of money and an enormous amount of influence, and then they start paying ads on all the TV shows.
And that makes it look legit.
Exactly. That makes them look legit. It makes the TV show look legit. And it's an evil union between the truth and money, where money always wins, and money will distort the truth. They're allowed to.
It's crazy because I've grown up in New York. I got families in New York.
Big card money?
I was actually going to go to a mall, and I was leaving, and he's food, and he was holding brand new but he's young. And you're right, you're trying to sell.
You're a numbers guy. Everybody's a little bit. You got me, brother.
Right. Hey man, can I still give you the $100? He's like, no. You're doing shots that can open the spot. And you don't buy it, then the next person won't buy it. It won't be me.
So like, ow. I got a microphone problem.
I gave him $100. Got on the bus. Didn't even have to talk. Got on the bus. Drove home.
Why did you make everyone Asian with all the Mississippi?
Get paid for it. But that $1 saved me because I was just always on a schedule. Like, where is the trick? And sometimes I just want to do something. If I didn't even see the last PCR, like recently, like that shit got checked out. They sold me the Rothschild. Yeah, that was a thing. That's the thing. People are yeah.
That's felt it like that. It was like a few months later, I felt it. Yeah, it felt different.
Yeah, that shit. Like, I was living in LA, but I was visiting. And I was so hungry in New York, but I go back to New York back then. I'd stay, you know, and then the night before the train center was down, you know, Will Sylvan, he was in Jersey City, and I used to live in that apartment in Jersey City. So then he's like, come back to England. So I took the train, and took the World Trade Center, the train, the PATH train. And it's funny because back then when I was living here and going to New York and running around, like, I missed this place. I mean, there's so much shit that I didn't pay attention to before. And so I was in the World Trade Center the day before it went down, like, man, I didn't notice how big this ceiling was and how much detail there was. And I got on the train, went to Will's crib, and then I got a ride home that night. So next night my sister woke me up, I'm like watching the first time with a plane sticking out of it. And then I was like, I was yesterday. And then I watched it. And then I almost hit under the bed. How far away were you? I was in Long Island. So it's like an hour drive. Yeah, it's crazy that they do. But I think just like we're under attack. And you're like, I don't know where these attacks are coming from. And I don't normally feel like a coward. But I was like, where are they going to attack? That's crazy, dude. You know? Nurses are like shit. So it was just that type of everything they do. So if they're going to beat them in all words, they have like a fucking selfie stick and they're just beating us the whole way. The danger of that is how people that die. He's also like, this is a book called War is Black, 1933. And he broke down how he thought he was over here to protect people, but he was really there to make it safe for Bangladesh. To do whatever the stuff you gotta do, control oil, control whatever minerals, control whatever the hell they were doing. He realized as these early stories are black. They tried to get him to overthrow the government. They tried to get him to participate in a military coup against the government. This was before our time. So this is, I think this happened prior to that. So 30. And now they have to hide it on layers and layers of special interest groups, NGOs, and money being floated around. It's all bullshit. And that bullshit is all over the news. And everyone's confused. Thinks the good guys versus the bad guys. People get scared. The more people start to white hats, black hats. And confusion is the greatest weapon. So here it is, 33, 19, okay. The business plot of Wall Street Butch was the White House. Is that Butch? You said like it's a German. Right? So it was a conspiracy in 33 in the United States to overthrow the government and the President Franklin D. Roosevelt installed Smedley Butler as dictator. The retired military clerk
Major General testified under oath that wealthy business and fascist veterans organization with him as its leader and used it as a coup to overthrow Roosevelt. So they almost overthrew Roosevelt. Imagine if he went along with that. In 34, Butler testified under oath before the United States House of Representatives Special Committee on Un-American Activities on these revelations, although no one was prosecuted, the Congressional Committee was prosecuted. That's wild. Even back then, it was bullshit. That's 9 years ago. The Congressional Committee's final report said there is no question that these attempts were discussed or planned and might have been placed in execution when and if the financial backers deemed it expedient. Motherfuckers. These motherfuckers have been dirty from the jump. I mean, I'm dirty from day one.
Yeah, dirty from day one. Sadly, God bless him with that face. I would trust him, but he's more trustworthy than his face. He has paralyzed.
You need glasses. Shitty glasses like that.
He has a casual talent. I know, but you're more believable when you gotta tell the truth and you do. Like, this is right on
that job, like you say, I'm gonna uncover the truth.
This is
Yeah, I saw the original. Well, I've seen articles like this before, you know. And so I saw this, I laughed.
And how years, you know, while this guy is president, as soon as he wants to take over again,
the promise of something.
They've gone from Democrat to Republican, and I think people go from Republican to Democrat.
That's how people fell for it. Someone shared it. I don't know who shared it.
If you're a politician or just if
They
you're
were like, wow, or whatever. And then Sean shared it. Man, that's my face. Come on, bro.
You can be a fucking.
I mean, if you're a public person, though, like you switch sides, you can only switch sides once.
And it's the Gringo
If you're a politician.
Yeah, but we don't just switch sides with like they switch the whole ideology. Usually, like what I see recently, it's from liberal to conservative, but then they go all in conservative, but like they go hard. They might go to why is gay marriage? You know, they might be crazy,
Right.
and then it's hard to take it seriously. Now it's made a 180-degree shift. Really? Change everything you believe in.
I think you have to prove so hard to people that's in the book, like those folks that you go overboard. You gotta go hard. You gotta go hard. Like I grew up in Long Island, there's some hard pockets of hardcore folks there, but they were trying to throw this, but they're not as they don't get the respect of them. They don't get the respect of Long Island. So like, we gotta wild out now. Like we gotta go hard. Like, so you things like wine dance, like you don't want to go to wine dance.
Wine dance?
Yeah, wine dance. You just, I've never heard of it. Some just rappers came out of it.
Well, we talking about Staten Island, which is crazy.
Yeah. Staten Island is wild.
Yeah, it's just when you don't think it's Staten Island. Greatest rap group of all time.
Like Long Island, like Brooklyn, Bronx, Staten Island. Like Long Island is like what are suburbs? Suburbs. But they're like, no, we get down. We get down. We get good pizza. Like shut up.
It's not the same.
It's true.
It's different, right? I think it was different. Is it considered a borough officially? It's not.
Yeah, because people don't know it's very.
If you were, what about the park? Outside of Boston, like if they go somewhere,
Yeah.
they say they're from Boston. They say they're from Boston. 100%. Yeah. For the regular Boston, we'll get mad at them because yeah, exactly. New York is like that too.
It let it out the bat.
Again, that's totally one.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's real. There's no second question. What's your second point? Yeah. I'm from the Bronx. Oh, okay. Yeah. Jenny from the Bronx. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always, you know what? If you're trying to lie, just name, like you said, name the farm you're from. Where you from? Say New York, right? That's what shit is so good. Sarasota. Almost, yeah. I used to think it was all one place. We were living in Boston. I didn't know. I was like, what is the difference between boroughs? Like, you want a 212 area. Like, why? Well, you can't. I remember that was a big thing about LA. Like, that was one of the things about Brody Stevens. 818 till I die. We make jokes about it. I don't date people that aren't 310 or 213. Yeah. I mean, that's why Brody was funny. Because he stood on 818. He stood on it by nobody rep for the Valley. That's right from New York. I didn't say I'm from LA. He's from Reseda. He named the town, named the area code, the phone number, and like stood on that shit. Like, for sure, you know. I never even tried to live in LA. Yeah. The moment I moved there, I was like, I'm not doing this. We're gonna get outside of this thing. We're gonna get outside of this thing and then go with a visit. Right? I don't want to live in that thing. I had friends that like lived like in West Hollywood. Like my friend Eddie moved like in West Hollywood, like right next to damn. Yeah, but this is also right where everything is. That's what it felt like. That's what you moved to Hollywood, be in Hollywood. So how much far? Yeah. So even like I don't. Even you saying you never lived there, that's a shock. Yeah, my thinking was the opposite. My thinking was I gotta get outside. I found that I lived in Bell Canyon for a while, and one of the things that was that 3 miles outside of Lincoln. That's where I lived most of the time I was in LA. Yeah, I bought a house out there in 97. Like when I first started making money, I'm like, I gotta get away from those people. I wanted to be in like the backyard, so I lived in for a little while. I rented a house in Encino, but that was too close too. Encino was still too close. Yeah, I was like, I gotta get outside. I wanted to go south. No, I wanted to go way out. I go where regular where you just fuck breath. Like never like the Hollywood party. You know, I was like every time I go, I felt like I get one of the run out of it. No one's relaxed. Everyone's fake and weird. Like I gotta live outside of this thing. Yes, I live in Hollywood, but it was at the bottom of the hill. And it's quiet. It's pretty right. But it was, I found out, like, oh, I like this. But on the flat, just, like, it was just, like, I get what you're saying, but I did feel like I needed to be there. Yeah. No, I get the wanting to be here. I thought about it for a while, but no need. Like, I need downtime. Right? Like, go hard. When I go hard, I need, like, off. I need off. Sit down, go to the shit. Right?
chirping and see if like a deer bounce by. That's some cool shit. Yeah, you have to.
Oh yeah.
This is a place for me to visit, but it's just my personality, like whatever it is. Even when I lived in New York, I could afford an apartment that had rental before a rental house fee. But I needed a car for the road. Yeah, because I take the total opposite approach to you. I did not do the clubs in the city very often.
That's why I met.
Yeah, no, I still did some of them, but most of the roads, I did a lot of Long Island, and a lot of gigs in New Jersey, because that paid real money, and I could do an hour. I was like, I could get better in the city, but I'm getting better in these 5 to 10 minutes drives. Like, I need time. I need like real-time computer and an app. Because when you're in Boston, you always on the road. Everybody did the road, right? So it didn't make sense to me just doing one 10-minute spot, another 10-minute spot.
I thought the opposite was this way. So I was doing that you were doing, like for the hour, for the teacher. First I started posting, but then I was like, I need to get on TV so that I can get on the road. Yeah, and then people book me. So then I said, let me go to Manhattan. Out of the hour situation, these 15-minute spots, build, put you on this TV show, put you on that TV show, and like as a stand, as a like they can job or whatever. Stand-up show they would have it, they had show appearances, and then you could be on the road. So I read that, and my mentality so probably way after the shit changed. So I kept doing it too long. Yeah, even living in LA, I remember.
Just walks in there every time. Like, name another Wu-Tang Clan song. Name another Method Man song.
I wrote on
like Wu-Tang Clan.
The big one.
Is that a song?
He's a good actor.
Sounds like he doesn't know.
When he walked up to audition before that, he'd just be like, blah, blah, blah. And he wouldn't say all the words, but he would nail the feel of it. And I couldn't remember everything. It's like it was an eye-opening experience. And then, but then he said, oh, be on the road like that with it. Why you do that? Get another TV show, and then the fame of the show will get you on the road. Thank God that nigga did this. He went on the road, he was like $1,500. The route to build, collected emails, the complete opposite. And yeah, one of those very smart about it. Yeah, like a separate business. Because like I remember there was a story about someone wanted access to social media to promote a project they were doing. It was like, no, that's a totally different deal. Like you got one deal, you got Kevin Hart to act in a movie. Another deal, you get access to Kevin Hart's Instagram. Like I built this. Right. This is my business. If you want to do that, we can talk. But this is I was like, oh, that was just a lot of people. We did that to Arsenio. I remember Arsenio Hall was at the Ice House. And you remember the Arsenio Hall show came back? Yeah, right. So when it came back, they took over his social media. That was part of it. They didn't give it back to him. Yes. And this was afterwards, like months and months and months afterwards. We're hanging out at the Ice House. He's like, I can't get my social media back. He built that from being on The Apprentice. Original show. Yeah, which was an iconic show. Sparingly and everything. But that was, they were trying to make deals. Doing that show, Joe Rogan Questions and everything. That was going to be part of the deal. Yeah. What year was that? Well, years strong. Not as big as it is now. It was big enough though. Like bigger than you. Yeah, it was bigger than. I mean, it was big. It was big for then. But then I think it was pretty big. But it was, my point is, like for me, when they were saying it, I'm like, oh shit, bigger than you. Like, you have a network.
network social media is not nearly as big as my one person. So why would I do that? Why would I let you have access to it? And they wanted to be able to promote their other shows on social media.
And then just dive into something. That's crazy.
No, it's not. Why not? Whatever they wanted to. Whatever they, and they said other artists aren't having a problem with doing this. There's like they're arguing. There's like a hang up in the seat. And I was like, absolutely not. Like if I post something, even if it sucks, I want people to know that came out my fat little thumb. Like I wrote that. That's it. Whether you like it or hate it, know that it came from me. And when they did that, I was like, oh, so how a bunch of my friends had to sign off deals like that. It's part of the new show. You have to give them access to your social media. Not just access, control of your social media. Wild.
That's that into shit that you put in contract that you like stand up on something. Like what and then they say they actually mention space and planets. Don't they?
Some contracts like that.
And then you're like, whoa, what the fuck do you know that I don't know?
I read about a contract, I don't know if it's true, that some sort of Scientology contract that is like to the end of the universe.
Right.
Talk about covering your bases. Not even until you die. Like until time runs out. C-Word, here it is.
Wow.
A symbolic billion-year commitment, which functions as a perpetual contract with no expiration date, while other staff members sign employment contracts of varying lengths, sometimes 2.5 years, but potentially exceeding 5 years or more. And these agreements may be disguised as volunteer or religious worker contracts to avoid labor laws. So the C org, I think, click on the C org. I think
That's what it's saying.
That's good contract. You just can't believe you're part of the C org.
That's wild.
Wow. Your contract.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, you know, people have been doing that, taking advantage of young artists in particular forever. That's why Prince had changed his name to Symbol. You know, that's they've been doing that forever. Jared Leto going to that shit. You know, he went to that shit with his band. It's just there's always going to be a business to you. It makes it not a big deal.
I know this is Spotify, but there's a lot of people about Spotify. Right?
What's the big?
This artist ain't getting paid.
Yeah, the people who get paid are the people they own. That's the when you own your catalog, then you get paid.
And also take out TRX, but trust, dude.
What contracts? That's the thing. It's like if you're an upcoming artist today and you're listening to your record, but you don't really need to why no one's buying records, right?
How do you get your shit played outside of? It's easy for a boy to make, right? Right. But how do you get your shit heard? Like,
What has to go viral?
right.
It has to be on.
Is anything really going viral with artificial viral? Right? What's both?
There's definitely still real viral. There's a lot of artificial viral, and that's what
Right.
it makes your art viral.
Right.
And it will go viral if you're good, but it's like they can juice it up to one foot. What's the cost? They want 50%. They want some insane amount of money from the touring.
And that's
Doing live performances, they don't even, and they get paid.
and that's where artists used to get ripped off in their field, but they used to make money. But then they cut into the forest
Because they weren't making any money selling records anymore.
because who was making
Well, the thing is, like, nobody was for a long time, right? It was like streaming, but then there was like Apple streaming and Apple, what happened at dollar, Spotify, yeah, they just nobody buys into that Apple anymore. When I used to listen to before I saw my Spotify deal, everything was Apple.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I wasn't even using Spotify. And then once I started using it, I was like, oh, this is better. And that was it. I get it if you're risk for you not getting paid. Like, I get it.
Let's
I don't
take a
know what
little
to say. I don't know why it's not that. I don't know how those deals are even legal.
Yeah, I don't know how. Like, I got my specialist coming out on YouTube, so I got. There's a way for comics to do it without signing a big deal or signing everything away, giving it over to somebody for less than you show, or even if it pays a legit amount. You know, it's not for a billion, right? You can keep it, but I don't know if you're a musician, like what way you can get your shit put.
You gotta put it out like that. You gotta put it out on YouTube, put it out on social media. Someone has to retweet it. Someone has to hear about it, talk about it on a podcast. You can get it out. You know, we were talking about that Johnny Thunder song, "I'm Alive." We played it yesterday, and then Jamie brought up that after we first started playing it on the podcast, like 2 years ago, the song from 1969, there was like a lost song. And Brian Simpson brought it to the mothership. And he's like, "This is gonna be like one of your favorite songs. You gotta listen to it." We played it in the green room, and I was like, "Holy shit!" You gotta figure out that it was from 1969. Like, when was this? Like, who is this guy? Like, what is the deal? Dude, back then, apparently he's still alive, and he died like a year later. He might have died. The song that started to become big again. Then started appearing in commercials. Oh, it was in a bunch of. Okay. Wow. He was only doing this one song. Let's play it. But the point is, like, shit again. I say Johnny Thunder, like, oh, I love that dude. The second album was amazing. You know,
Should have been at least Chuck. Johnny Checker got so much mileage on his way. I've never seen somebody get that much mileage.
Alright, edit this out. Yeah, we'll edit it out. Alright, kill this. This is terrible. We're gonna play.
He looked like a dude that was fighting for Muhammad Ali. And his hurt.
This is the fucking jam song. This song. I listen to this song all the time. This is on regular playback.
First of all, he looks like a Def Jam comic. Or even like an Arsenio Hall, like back in the day. Like,
So what year was this? Generation was 69. Yeah. And I also read that performing with the Drake. And the back of vocals are like, that song proves that there's a lot of actors involved in it. Because that guy should have been a fucking superstar. That is a superstar song.
yeah, because listen, just the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was like, let's stop there. Let's stop there and take that in for a second.
Yeah.
And then they switched. I wasn't even ready for the switch. But I was like, let me go with this. And then I could see it like the beginning or the TV shows. Right. Yeah, this is together.
He sang Money, Money. That was another song. Like, that was a song that, what's his face? Guy with the hair. Billy Idol. Billy Idol. Wow. Also, years ago. That was when I was weird. I know. The Agile man be like, that's what you're like. You're alive? This is a live shit. I guess I forgot it all together. About songs, right? Like the one hit wonder thing. The drums. Early 60s, people were still naive. They were still following the best. They were all '69, they got wild. It was real quick.
I wonder what people would do. Well, for people with internet mentality, is big. Mask in society. How did they come in society?
I read a lot of comic books. They went to like punk rock concerts.
Yeah.
They had to like find where the CBGBs. They had to find places where they could fit in.
There's no online forum for that.
No, it was a factory for turning people into drones. That was society back then. Turning you into a worker drone.
Yeah. School already trained this way.
Yep.
Get up, go to the next class.
It's designed for that.
Yeah.
It's not the best way to keep guys like you and I, they label you ADHD or something.
Yeah.
They get labeled.
I didn't get labeled because I don't know why. I kind of like my father was like, you know, they're immigrants. They're like, you gotta work hard. You know what I mean? So you gotta like apply yourself, and they went out and they provide this opportunity. So I didn't want to go it up to a certain point, but after a certain point, like I was gonna do comedy. This was something that they didn't expect or would have high school, college. Like I didn't mind it. You know what I mean? Maybe in around college, that's when shit started to get like a little wonky. But the high school shit, like, all right, I can get some good grades. I can follow that up until there a little bit after. But then in college, that's when shit comes. So then you're prepping the real world. You realize it's going to be a cold day. And shit you don't want to do. There's no joy in that there. So,
Unless you're into it. Unless like college is like whatever subject that you want to pursue in life, that's the way to go. If you want to be even stronger, that's how you learn.
yeah, but for college is just like, why am I forced to do this? Like, why am I teaching myself to do this? Like, what's the end goal? If I get a job, but I knew that I always wanted to like make a decent amount of money and be middle class. That was good. I was like, so you gotta go to college, right? To do that. That's the way you get programmed. Right. But the comedy came into my mind. It was never a big like I was never really ability or gambling.
What did it feel like? So
We make fun of shop t-shirt. If you can't call somebody fat, then what the fuck are we doing, dude?
Like it's still a switch. And once you turn it on, that's just can go back the other way. And this is what we do.
Probably one of the best. This dude, he's one of our guys.
That's kind of how you have to be if you want to do it.
I think that's the same with music. I think that's the same with literature. If you want to write books,
I feel lucky about it. There's people that really turn their switch back off.
Yeah, the Mexican.
Mine is off.
well, that's because you're doing the right thing. The thing you're supposed to do. There's people that turn that switch off. Somehow drives them in, or they can't beat their demons.
Right.
Not even
establishment and asking for a
great depression. They can't beat the demons that go in depression. They don't have the energy to write. They don't have the energy to perform. They don't have the energy to be healthy. They don't have the energy to shit. So, into a mundane life. And they also don't have support. Friends.
It's called He Is Now Officially Trying to Claim
I
despite having
feel bad for those people. We don't even know what this guy who's like what. Well, I know what went wrong with her and what took him off track. Right. I remember.
Would you even comment and say that shit?
We're all doing something. We're grinding. We're bumpers.
The bag is coming from inside the house. Every time I do that, COVID 9 times. Stronger from it, dude.
It's like that every time. And we hung out with him. And it was
Okay. I mean,
like,
Devil's Assistant,
he's like,
for sure
he's the biggest fan that
no
can be
bags,
in
like,
the and then
he's
disappeared.
yeah. So if you don't think that's a joke, dude, like, nobody
Yeah.
knows.
Then I ran into him in Queens,
He's like a George
trying to
Carlin.
do it.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
But it wasn't the same. Like, I didn't for enough years
It's like him saying, like,
to like
no, it's
lose it all. But not even be as good as the first time he saw it, which was his first
Party
time.
Chess ever played it?
There is one.
Sounds like Gallagher hasn't.
I approached things because I think I wish the real football that life will grow you. Little games that we play in front of you. Becoming which way to go. Something went wrong. You got to make decisions to pull yourself up and figure out how to make it better. What do I have to do? But clearly I want to have. But I got to figure out how to. Even when you're talking about bad relationships, I like that's material. It is. I never go on a bad. When a date is good, it's good. If it's bad, then it's material. That's an experience. That's something to the state, right? Like, why are you down about this? How many times does someone tell you a crazy story, like in the green room or something like that? You're like, have you said that on stage yet? Yeah. Like, no, and I tell people all the time. That is like, he just broke up sad.
I remember the first time when I changed, dude, it was just a bunch of people being
crying. Like, the greatest comedy kid I've worked with. Yeah, they didn't chase it. I was back like this whole thing. Yeah, this whole thing was like just getting his heart broken. Right. One of his best bits was he sat piano and sang a love song to his ex. You look at it, you just believed it all. It's like, of course, he's a little fat guy with no hair. People are gonna dump on him. It's not gonna work out.
That's great.
that I you'll be able to talk about this space. Like, yeah, that's part of like,
Do not defecate.
that's how
Okay.
far gone is this. I'm just realizing it now. Like,
That's funny.
I am
that's how it's like.
It says translations. John Jones is its own
Protein, animal protein, very important for. The thing is, it's like way easier to keep going though than it is to get going. Like if you're 58 and you start working out now, it's hard. But if you're 58 and you're working out for you know, it's not. I mean, like hard. More. I get 15, so yeah. I probably started working out when I started wrestling. I was like 14.
oh fuck, dude.
So I've always worked out. My body, if I don't work out for a day, my body's like, I don't want to be tension, blow it out.
You probably like wake up sometimes like, oh, work out. Yeah, like, I didn't. That's the button for the code, and you think they push more deal.
That's why
And then they go give up.
if you're doing like heavy rounds with that, but you can't see, but
Excited for you to see, dude.
that's seventh round comes around looking
Various
tired.
concepts, 615.
Rounds.
New appearances into a multi-star with the Papa Squadron.
But it's, you know, 10 where you're going at it. And it's really 10 is only 30 minutes of work.
Yeah, no, it's fighting.
Yeah. So this is 10 3-minute rounds back at the back. So like think about a MMA fight.
I mean, all I know is that that's the
That's crazy. Another dude's trying to kill you.
Like you get hit.
That's what I
in that time.
put that
Body
shit in.
slam.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Then you recover, you have ice on your shin in between rounds. Fuck, am I doing my life? I should go to school.
it just ain't in traction control.
Yeah, that is a crazy mentality type of life.
But God bless them. They have to be all in. When you're all in with comedy, you always have. They have to. I got you. Yeah. The king of that, not being able to remember. Yeah. He must have missed trees. He's the best fighter every hour. Somebody could have that. Yeah. That's around. It's a thing that you have to want to be a world champion. You have to only get best in the world. Or you have to accept that you're a journey. And if you're just doing it for effect, it's just a crazy way to make a living. There are a lot of guys out there that they get to a point where they realize I'm never going to be champion, but I'm still going to make a lot of money. So there was this black guy who was fighting a Mexican guy, but yeah, never the same after that. Oh shit, yeah. Get in the fight. Yeah. When Tell everybody.
I was there in LA when it happened, and it was
Such a. Is that the New York guy? Yeah. It's so funny. But he's going to tax the rich people way more than before. The businesses are going to someone who has some sort of, not like pure socialism, but at the very least, there's a basic income. All jobs are going to. Well, there's a bunch of those. There's what do you call that? You know that gal that they made that was we played a little bit of AIDS about her, and they made the song about another minute. It was great. I was listening to it. I was listening to it. I did a cover of Sex. Many men know that song. It was the 60s, like soul blues kind of rendition, jazz sort of. Well, it's still 50 though. It's his voice. No, it's a 5 minute. Something has a frequency that pitches up, so exactly. So it protects you at a certain noise cancellation or a certain level of. It gets better. Listen to It's not a person. Some dude who's been doing the road for like fucking 20 years, and now he's 42. This is his debut album. Sharon Stone from 90s. That trips me out, man. I just had to would not have had to do your stuff. But 2 years ago, no one's even thinking like they're going to take over art. No way. But now, Dylan, who makes the old Bob Dylan look boring, you got some renegade, wild dude out there doing yoga in the woods. Important thing that we really are. And everybody does that. Everybody's like, well, jobs are essential. They're not. I mean, some are, right? No. This thing. Oh, this is fucking me up, dude. This is freaking me out. I should have taken this gummy this morning. It's emerging right time. That's what it is. It's just movies and art and answering, coming out of the cocoon. It's just going like this right now. It's coming. And what does that mean? Talking like I must be making arrowheads for 35 years. You're telling me this is coming out. One day you're not going to need a flint map because people are going to invent alloys like fucking flint. And this is just how the world works. As long as the Earth stays in the relatively. No, it is great. Exciting for me is the lights. I hope that stays. It's always been said. Yeah, the pressure like it's not going to matter whether or not you like it or not. It is. And there's a lot of people that are in denial right now.